sei que deve estar com ele agora. Só de imaginar por poucos Deixa eu colocar PF aqui. A extensão foi R$19, pai. Tá desgrama.
Fala galera, vamos iniciar aí a live. Tamo junto, Andrei Dyer aqui. Mano Simões Samura. Jogo do Frota. Esse é um jogo que o primeiro dele saiu no Xbox 360 na época. E ele, por ser um jogo diferente, meio estranhão, até mesmo com os gráficos na época feios pra época, dividiu o público, né? Teve gente que amou o jogo mesmo assim, e teve gente que ficou falando que o jogo não era bom e tal. Tinha queda de quadro, etc, né? Parece que a mesma coisa está acontecendo agora com essa sequência, né? As reviews, pelo que eu vi, ou você gosta ou você odeia. Caralho, a mina foi esquartejada e congelada, mano. E esse jogo ele tá com uma pegada mais com cel shade, né? Uma arte mais estilo comic book, né? Do HQ. 88 horas depois. Tomsville, o subúrbio de Boston.
God damn it. What a way to start the new year. At this rate, I'll be dead by Easter.
Quiet down, Agent Jones. You're on the clock.
Quiet down? Ha! You have any idea what you've done? I'd be half naked in Havana right now if you hadn't shown up. Soaking up some rays, surrounded by a harem of bikini queens, a mojito in one hand, and a seafood-slathered Havana-style pizza in the other. What did I do to deserve this? Does God hate me?
No. The Regional Bureau Chief merely issued a special order. Agent Jones, don't let him take control of the conversation. The moment you let your guard down, he'll strike. And no red, remember?
Ô,
It's
louco.
open. Come on in.
São dois tiras, né? Dupla penetração. Caralho, o maluco mandando ali um baseado, mano.
You have questions for us. That's why you're here, isn't it?
Caraca. Francis Zack Morgan. É um maluco, olho vermelhão de tanto fumar a erva ali. Ô louco, tocando um jazz aqui, ó. Saxofone. Tô me sentindo mesmo aí um detetive americano no subúrbio de Boston. Como nos velhos tempos em Cincinnati, Ohio. É, né? Perninha de grilo. Ah, bem americano mesmo, olha lá. Pizza, pizza fria, bebidas.
Mr. Morgan, before we question you, allow me to first read you your rights. Anything you say may be used against you in a court of law. Please keep that in mind as you speak. Do we have permission to film this?
Alia Davis.
Don't worry, my fairy. They're free to do whatever they like.
Something wrong, Mr. Morgan? I'm FBI Special Agent Aaliyah Davis, and this is...
Simon Jones. An analyst from the Boston branch. He's been monitoring us for years now.
Oh, hi.
Seriously.
A Southern belle and a lonesome loser who can't catch a break. Quite the uncanny duo. He'd be
É
the
o Drauzio
perfect
Virilha.
stars for the latest video game.
Ô, louco.
Isn't that right, my fairy? How many years has it been since someone came to chat with us? Oh, but don't ask me about my fairy. That's a private matter.
It's hard to tell what he's thinking, but my eyes can't be deceived. If he's hiding something, it'll come out in his face.
Aqui eu posso inspecionar, interessante, né?
This smell. It doesn't surprise me at this point, but it'll be problematic in court if they decide his testimony is unreliable. I won't get another chance to talk to him face to face like this. I need to get him to stop smoking that for a bit.
Ô, louco. O cara tá lá fumando um cigarrinho lá, né, não, mano?
Francis Zach Morgan. He was once an FBI special agent, an extremely talented one.
Ô, louco.
At least that's what they tell me.
Ele era um agente especial do FBI, viu?
Perhaps he was a little too talented. Letters of appreciation from the governor and the Department of Justice. They're caked in dust as if he doesn't even care about them. Excuse me, Mr. Morgan, but would you please refrain from consuming that while we speak? I'm talking about... yes, that.
You don't need to worry about us.
O Drauzio tá loucaço.
Don't get in our way and we won't get in yours.
Unfortunately, questioning doesn't work like that. Our data needs to be consistent. Now please put out that stinking indulgence right this minute.
What if we say no?
Then I'll put it out myself. Using force.
Whoa, whoa, Aaliyah. This is Morgan's house. Besides, it's legal in Massachusetts for individuals to consume cannabis in the comfort of their own homes. And I mean, come on.
It's medicinal.
Exactly.
Eu posso usar as visões pra conseguir dicas importantes que vai me ajudar no game, né? Deixar o L pressionado pra ativar a visão. Ok. Eu não vi nada aqui.
Hey, Belle. Why are you dressed so handsomely?
Agora eu dando as cantadas nela. Vou pegar ela de trivela.
What are you talking about?
The thick black accessory wrapped around your neck. That's a male necktie. The color black represents confidence and interest in the self. And your decision to wear a male tie symbolizes your declaration of war against a predominantly male
louco.
society. Or perhaps psychological better, meant to hide the weakness that dwells deep within your psyche. Admire your bravery.
I thought you retired from profiling.
Bullseye, huh? You're an easy one to read.
In order to think with society, a man must first gouge out his eyes and cut off his ears. Don't judge a book by its cover. For someone who's supposed to have been one of our best, you've got an awful eye for people. Or did all that smoke and kill all your little gray cells?
Ó, rolando uma DR, que o jogo começa com a DR, mano.
Okay, Aaliyah, that's enough. She's smart, but she's also more of a shrew than she lets on.
Agent Jones, that's sexual harassment.
So, Belle, does that barrier of yours also protect you from violent criminals?
He's more dangerous than I thought.
Caralho.
Can't
O
read
cara é
him.
mó psicopata, tá ligado?
I'll just have to assault him head on with questions then. First, I'll try using the files on the table to shake him up. An ornate antique chessboard. Looks like he stopped halfway through the game. But who was playing with him?
O cara tava jogando com uma entidade ali, pelo jeito, né?
These files are from the case that took place just outside of New Orleans in 2005. The agent who handled the case was Francis Zach Morgan. And now he's sitting right in front of me. Stage 4 progressive malignant tumor.
Caralho, o cara tem um tumor maligno. Estágio 4.
How do humans behave when they know death is just around the corner?
Caralho.
And what if that human is also a high-functioning sociopath?
O cara ainda é um sociopata, é o louco.
Do you remember the homicides that took place in Le Carré, Louisiana in 2005?
We solved that case.
Your report states the following. By coincidence, you encountered a serious incident in a town you visited while on vacation. You then decided to steal the right to investigate from the local law enforcement and took over the case. After several more homicides, you managed to apprehend the perpetrator.
Yes. Yes. Yes, that's exactly what happened.
É, viu, Felipe? Ele falou 3 vezes yes. Sim, sim, sim. Diferente do Drauzio. Ele fala não, não, não.
We stole the right to investigate from them, just as you said.
It all started when the body of a 16-year-old girl was discovered. You arrived in Lucaria immediately after that, didn't you?
Fernando, pelo que eu vi, tá com um problema seríssimo de frame rate, mas ainda tô no início do jogo aqui, não sei. O frame rate, pelo que eu vi, tá com um problema sério no mapa aberto, né? Falaram que vão fazer um patch aí pra corrigir, mas ainda não saiu patch nenhum, não.
We just can't seem to keep ourselves away from dead girls.
O primeiro jogo da série também tem um frame rate horroroso, do 360. Acho que é a marca da série isso.
Did you really visit that town just to take a vacation?
We don't know.
Sinistro que eles se referem como nós, né? Ele não fala eu, né? Nós não sabemos.
If you already have the report, then we suggest you read it, Belle. Either way, that case is closed.
Closed. You sure about that? Don't you think this puzzle is still missing some crucial pieces?
Come on. No need to beat around the bush with us, Belle.
They found Lise Clarkson's body. It was hidden deep within the Clarkson Food Delivery Services cold storage warehouse.
After 14 years, we finally discovered the body of the very first victim.
14 anos depois acharam o corpo congelado, todo decepado.
Do you know what this means? That's why we're here. The first victim in the case he solved, Lise Clarkson. This is a photograph of what she looks like now. How will he react when he sees it?
Rapaz, agora é treta.
The body that went missing for 14 years was suddenly discovered frozen. This is some kind of message from the victim to us.
We're pleased that her body turned up. Deeply pleased.
You claim to have closed this case, but now a lost body suddenly surfaced. Aren't you curious about the details?
Body or not, we already solved that case. Lisa's body can't change anything now. And it certainly has nothing to do with us.
I suspect the body was stored there rather than abandoned, due to the unnatural state it was found in. She was found frozen in a storage unit. Therefore, she looks exactly the same as she did when she disappeared. In fact, she's in such good condition that we can even determine the murder weapon and cause of death.
Well, good for you.
Even stranger is how unbelievably beautiful she looks. At first glance, few would guess she was a murder victim at all. She looks more like a piece of art, or a mythological figure from a painting.
This keeps getting better and better.
Better and better?
Isn't that right, my fairy? A corpse as beautiful as a goddess. Sounds just like our story. Yes. Yes.
That went okay. Now I'm sure that Morgan's hiding something.
Caraca, pesado aí.
I may be able to get what I want if we go deeper into the documents.
Mas primeiro eu quero ver esse jogo aqui do xadrez aqui. Tava jogando com quem, filhão?
That chessboard looks rather old. And you can't even buy those ivory pieces anymore.
Right. They were banned by the CITES Treaty.
That was made in France in the 1900s.
Porra.
We know it's in bad taste, but the weight of the ivory just feels so good in our hands.
You play chess alone?
Is that a crime?
No. But it's a hard game to enjoy when you're all by yourself.
He's probably just replicating famous games. Or trying to solve problems from a chess workbook. Right, Morgan? I may not look it, but I'm actually a bit of a chess nut myself. When I was in school, I used to pore over every issue of Chess Life, the magazine published by the U.S. Chess Federation.
Well, unfortunately, your guess is completely wrong, Agent Jones. He isn't replicating a famous game, nor is he solving workbook problems. There isn't a single chess book to be found in this apartment. And I didn't find any chess-related websites in his internet history. He was simply playing chess, all alone.
So, what's wrong with that, Belle?
I don't understand it. How could a single human being seriously play as both sides?
You just publicly confessed to stealing personal data. Seems like that's a much bigger problem.
Oh no, everything was done in a perfectly legal manner. We simply happened to intercept a handful of data being sent out from an unknown origin.
Ooh, now she's really trying to scare us. Did you hear that, my fairy? Serious nightmare fuel. Isn't there someone else you should have talked to? Before coming to us. Such as...
We were unable to reach Patricia Clarkson. You look surprised. I thought you already knew. After all, you visited Louisiana last week. We assumed you met with her during your time there.
We haven't been to Louisiana. Not in 14 years.
Is that so?
We've been right here in our apartment this entire time. That man is our witness. Aren't you, Simon?
He's right. He didn't even take a single step outside on Christmas Eve. Which means that I didn't get to either.
Are you positive about that? I took the liberty of checking some airline records. Last Friday, the name Billy Bishop was listed on a morning flight out of Boston. This is the fake name you used to use as an agent, isn't it?
A mere coincidence.
Yet that's not all. That evening on the same day, a man with a large scar on his forehead allegedly purchased an '89 Cadillac from a small used car lot in Le Carré. He reportedly said he wanted something old, big, and strong. The owner of the car lot felt it was a strange order, so it stuck in his mind.
Our world is filled with mysteries, and they always have the most bizarre timing.
Incidentally, On the following day, an identical Cadillac was taken to a scrapyard in Trenton, New Jersey.
You can find that type of car anywhere. Isn't that right, my fairy?
Esse cara é bizarro, mano. Tipo, o início do jogo começa já numa investigação criminal aqui, louca, você meio sem entender o que tá rolando, né? Acho que quem gosta de jogo de detetive, cara, eu curto, viu?
Who is it? This my fairy character you keep speaking to?
You can't see her? Such bad manners. You barge into our apartment, yet you don't even care about who else is living here.
Dissociative identity disorder. In the past, it was known as multiple personality disorder. You were subjected to an internal probe only once during your career, correct? They suspected that you had DID, but you denied it. And no problems arose during your test. Is this how you dealt with the psychological profiler back then, too? Saying strange things, weaving unrelated matters together. Is that how you slipped through?
You're free to draw your own conclusions, Belle. But my fairy clearly exists. She's been sitting right there, on your lap this entire time.
Caraca. Ele falando que ele tem uma fada, né? Que essa fada dele existe, tá? E ela tá sentada aí no colo dela esse tempo todo.
Hey! Stop it! No violence allowed in here, Belle. Wouldn't want to scare my fairy, now would we?
Que doideira, mano.
You may be wondering why we decided to unearth all these old files.
Everything happens for a reason.
The moment Lise Clarkson's body was found, we did the best we could to start our own local investigation. But there wasn't much we could actually investigate due to the damage caused by the hurricane.
Then we assume you also questioned everyone who worked in the warehouse.
Of course. We questioned all the Clarkson Food Delivery Services employees who staffed the warehouse and its owner. But we still have yet to obtain any key testimonies.
Par for the course with a 14-year-old case, if you ask me.
Not to mention how bad the timing was. Most of the employees were on vacation.
So, you gave up on the investigation and came to see us instead. Remember what happened, my fairy? That warehouse, that man, so incoherent, such a pain.
Hey, are you talking about the guy who managed the vault where Lisa's body was found? Yeah, I think he started working there in 2005. Remember, Aaliyah? You said he was a pain to deal with, too.
The large man, yes? No need to answer. If you don't want to. I'm sure you've already put him under surveillance. Textbook FBI protocol.
Morgan's right. Everything happens for a reason. Even this messy room. There must be a reason for it. Especially when it comes to those strangely tidy spots. They're practically begging me to question them. A stinking indulgence. And a massive DVD collection. You must live a very comfortable life.
We're retired, remember?
Retired in your 40s. I'm envious.
But who doesn't love movies, Belle?
I'm not a fan.
Oh, that won't do. You should dedicate all the free time you have to watching movies. It's practically an unwritten law. Films guide us. Films are filled with every important life lesson there is.
Is that so?
For example, They Live. 1988, directed by John Carpenter. That film taught us a valuable lesson. Always put on your sunglasses before a fight.
Ai, ai. A lição que o filme passa: sempre coloque seus óculos de sol antes de uma luta.
You know, you've got a point. Movies teach us about everything we need to know.
Esse Simon Jones aí, ó, teu xará, Simons Jones, ele parece que ele concorda mais com o coroa do que com a mina.
I learned about the right way to eat frozen pizza from Cobra. It's one of Stallone's best.
Ah lá, falando do Stallone Cobra, até printei. Olha lá, eu aprendi sobre o jeito certo de comer pizza fria do Cobra. É um dos melhores filmes do Stallone. Cretino. Coma peixe, cara. Peixe faz bem. Que foda, mano. Stallone e Cobra sendo citado aqui no jogo, mano. Pô, Game of the Year.
Before that, I wouldn't be caught dead trying to eat frozen pizza. I thought it wasn't fit for human consumption. But that film changed my life.
Simon, that has nothing to do with the film.
Simon, não tem nada a ver com o filme.
You're just talking about pizza.
This room's a total mess. But certain spots look perfectly clean. Is it just a coincidence? No. There are no coincidences with this man. Mr. Morgan.
Referência do Stallone comendo pizza fria, tá vendo aí?
I found several spots in this room that look strangely clean.
Esse pedaço limpo parece justamente o pedaço de uma fatia de pizza, viu?
Did you tidy up a bit because you knew we were coming?
Those are sanctuaries.
Louco.
They've existed from the start.
Sanctuaries.
That's right. Sacred places. Hovels for pure souls, if you will.
Were there originally objects in those hovels? Something you didn't want us to see?
The soul's still there. We haven't touched a thing. But we know you can't see anything. Hey, Simon. Don't touch the sanctuary.
Sorry.
That's a sanctuary. Don't ever touch it again. You've been watching us for 4.5 years, and you couldn't even figure that much out?
My bad. It's my first time actually coming inside, you know.
You're earning far more than you deserve, then. What were you doing all day in that black Suburban? We thought wiretapping was your specialty. Don't tell me. Crossword puzzles. What do you think, my fairy?
Esse cara é perturbado, né, mano?
4.5 years. All that time, and what does he have to show for it?
Crossword puzzles? No way. Come on, I thought you knew. I'm a Sudoku guy.
Agent Jones.
Oh, right.
He's completely taking control of the conversation. At this rate, we'll never get anywhere. I need to press him some more. Agent Jones. The briefcase isn't even that big. How long does he intend to keep that up? Does he have pizza menus stuffed inside there or something?
Cara, tá nervoso, mano.
Agent Jones? Did you find the files? Mr. Morgan, do you recognize these files?
Caralho. Cai, tocou no santuário lá.
Whoa!
Caralho.
Ow!
We told you. That's a sanctuary.
Let him go! Assaulting an FBI agent is an obstruction of
told you.
justice!
We told you. Go. Ah! Stay back. Stay back. Sanctuary. Down. Surrounded. Ah! 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 Yeah.
Mr. Morgan? I cut my finger with that can opener this morning. I thought I stopped the bleeding, but it seeped through.
Caralho.
How could I be so stupid?
Ele não pode ver vermelho, né? No início deu pra perceber isso, ó.
Everything should be fine now.
Ele não pode ver sangue pelo jeito que ele fica apavorado, né?
I'm sorry for being so careless.
Ela pediu pro cara tirar a gravata vermelha antes de entrar e tal.
I made sure to read through your file and learn about your condition. The color red. Such an unusual thing to fear.
Ele tem medo da cor vermelha.
Please, accept my deepest apologies.
I'm sorry too, Morgan. I don't know what I was thinking. I'll never touch one of your sanctuaries ever again. And no more red, either.
Don't ever. Touch one. Again. I told them not to. Why would they do that? Make them go away. Sanctuaries. Don't touch.
Now, may we return to our discussion?
Don't worry. I won't let them touch you again.
Falar, cara, esse jogo aqui, ele parece ser um jogo longo, hein, cara? Um jogo extenso, viu? Eu vou falar pra vocês uma coisa. Eu, hoje em dia, passei a gostar de jogos longos, porque eu acho que eu jogo mais hoje, né? Mas tinha uma época que quando eu via que eram jogos grandes, eu corria. Por isso que eu não jogava RPG na época.
Strangely enough, this man has a fear of the color red. And I believe that fear is connected to the Greenville case.
Outro spot ali limpo, tá vendo? Interessante, entende?
Soon after Agent Jones started monitoring him, he was ordered to go through Morgan's trash. But he didn't find anything. Morgan used this machine to cut up everything, from his mail to his supermarket receipts. Then he even went as far as taking out his trash in
Ele tem um cortador de lixo ali, né?
Here's another empty space. What does the word sanctuary really mean to him? Hovels for pure souls?
Doideira, né? Traz o Greenville.
The files on the serial killings that shocked Washington State in 2010. Officially titled the Greenville Case. I never thought I'd take out files from a case I first heard about on the news.
Vou perguntar primeiro sobre esse santuário aqui.
Could you tell me what exactly the word sanctuary means to you?
Sanctuaries are sanctuaries. Nothing more and nothing less.
That doesn't explain anything.
Why do you wish to know?
Just curious.
Belle. You're a much ruder person than you initially seemed to be. Don't you agree, my fairy? What do our sanctuaries have to do with the investigation? If you're out of questions, then how about just going home?
Hey, mind if I jump in here?
What is it, Simon? We hope you've got a real question for us.
Vai lá, Simon. Mostra que você é útil pra alguma coisa.
Well, actually, I'm also a little curious myself. No one's supposed to touch any sanctuary, right?
That's what we said.
What about you, though? You can't even touch them yourself? Are there any extenuating circumstances?
What are you getting at?
I mean, I doubt if any of this really matters, but if no one can touch the sanctuaries, then how do you clean them?
Vamos ver aqui o destruidor de lixo.
This is a very large shredder. Is there something you don't want people finding out about?
Good question. But we never know when some curious civil servants may come and sift through our trash now, do we?
You're already retired. What are you so worried about?
From back when we were still on duty. Didn't they bang that into your head when you were up in Quantico? Some habits are hard to break, no matter how hard you try.
Vamos ao caso.
Mr. Morgan, I'd like to ask you some questions about this case now.
We don't want to remember that town.
I'm sorry, but there's no way around this. I remember hearing about this case on the news when I was still a student. A high school girl named Anna Graham was murdered and the FBI stepped in to take over the case. I also remember it becoming a sprawled investigation due to evidence found in the victim's throat. Is that correct? After that case, you went on sick leave for 2 years. And when you returned, you requested to be switched over to desk work.
Uma coisa que eu devo frisar aqui, nesse jogo, é que o áudio dele é muito bom, viu, cara? A dublagem dos personagens, além de ser sincronizada, ela tem a qualidade muito alta, viu?
What happened?
That's a private matter. None of your business, Bill.
Were you traumatized? It's a common problem with prolific agents such as yourself. But there's another possibility that may make more sense. Perhaps you simply finished making preparations.
What are you getting at?
Thinking too much about something will always turn it into a problem.
Caramba. Frase. Até printei aqui. Pensar muito sobre alguma coisa vai transformar isso num problema.
The Greenvale case. Don't you think it resembles the Luke Carre case?
Read the report. We have nothing else to say.
I just need one more push. One more thing that can summon up the past.
Aqui tem jarro de mel, um relógio no lixo. Vamos ver esse relógio no lixo.
The silver clock in that trash pile. Is that an H5?
That's right. John Harrison's 5th chronometer, completed in 1770. After many years, he completed it and presented it to the Board of Longitude in order to end their feud with him. That's only a replica, of course.
You like clocks?
Clocks are amazing.
Esse lance do relógio me lembra
Prime
Watchmen.
fruit of the human race's intellect.
Watchmen me lembra... Vem relógio nessas coisas assim, me lembra Watchmen.
We took the invisible idea of time and manifested it in these.
Yeah, I love clocks too. Absolutely fascinating.
I disagree.
Oh? Why?
Time is valuable precisely because it can't be seen. Yet nowadays, people can't tell what time it is unless it's measured in numbers. Tuck, I don't mean to side with the Board of Longitude, but remember, humans used to cross oceans with the stars alone. We have our eyes to read moon charts and study the sky. We don't need clocks.
What if it's cloudy or storming?
All you need is courage and a love for adventure.
Hear that, my fairy? Courage and a love for adventure? Come on, Belle. Surely you know how many lives have been claimed by your pals' courage and adventure.
Hey, hold on a second here. That Board of Longitude thing, what the heck is that? I mean, I've heard of it before. I'm an FBI analyst, remember? I just sort of can't remember it right now. I'm telling the truth. Come on, Aaliyah, back me up here. Aaliyah?
O velho é boladaço, né, mano?
A jar of honey with honeycomb inside it. There's nothing strange about it, but it still gives me a weird feeling.
Vou perguntar sobre o jarro.
That's royal jelly.
Huh?
You were staring at the jar, weren't you? Do you find it strange that there's honeycomb inside? We wanted to harvest royal jelly in its most natural state. The queen's main food source, created from the worker bee's secretions. It's a perfect food, filled with power, meant to fuel the birth of the next queen. By absorbing it into our own bodies, we too can acquire that power. Incidentally, did you know that all the worker bees are female?
No.
Guess they didn't teach you that at Quantico. Male bees are only born to inseminate, and they're born from unfertilized eggs to boot. They have short lives and don't even get stingers. Sort of feels like a glimpse into the future of our society, wouldn't you agree? Women are gifted with the power to conceive, give birth, and nourish their children. But men are consumed with the job of providing women with the chance to do so. If women no longer had to rely on men for the seeds of life, they would soon cease to desire them, we believe.
Caraca.
Be careful, Simon.
Toma cuidado, Simon, que as minas não vão querer mais os homens.
Huh? Of what?
Porra.
Your Belle's already stolen the reins from you.
Mr. Morgan, please look at this.
What did we just say? We don't want to remember Greenvale.
This isn't a photo from Greenvale. Look closely at it. Former Special Agent Francis Zach Morgan. This photograph predates Greenvale. It's from the Le Carre case you worked on in 2005.
Red tree. Red tree.
Yes, a red tree. Greenvale wasn't the first place you saw one of these. The Greenvale case and the Lise Clarkson murder case, they're connected by these red trees, aren't they?
Red trees.
Answer me. What are these trees?
Red trees.
I want the truth.
Caralho.
Tell me everything you know.
The red trees. You really did your homework. Well done, Belle. You're good. Damn good.
Are you ready to talk now? I want to know what went down in Le Carre in 2005.
Fine. We'll tell you. We'll tell you what happened in that town. Yes. It was that red tree. That red tree ruined my life. It was a sultry summer day. The sun comes down hard on you in the south, like a torrential downpour of demonic whispers. It all started back in that sweltering summer. We still had our best friend with us back then. The other me. My better half.
Caramba, agora que acho que o jogo deve começar, viu? A gente vai jogar com ele no passado, olha que maneiro. A gente começa no futuro dele perto de morrer. Caraca. E agora eu gostei pra caraca do jogo, viu? Da história, né? Ó, tem até uma abertura maneira, tipo um filme. Ô, louco, a musiquinha.
When somebody needs you, you can't turn away. You're their only lifeline, just a hero, a bullet for hire, working alone.
Pô, cara, muito bom, hein?
Always a voice, a cry in the darkness, an echo of pain that's been long forgotten, but it haunts me, my destiny to be alone. There's a time when you see call to me to keep searching, walk alone.
Cara, parece até uma entrada de 007, né? Ó! Entrou Guns N' Roses agora. Muito foda. Otávio, eu não compro esses jogos, eu ganho esses jogos das empresas, mano. Eu não sou rico, não. Sou rico da graça de Deus.
Zack.
As pétalas vermelhas da rosa. Da árvore vermelha. Cara, é um
Zack.
jogo com foco na história, assim, muito legal, viu, cara?
Can you hear me, Zack?
Answer, tem que apertar.
There you are, Zack.
Ele tá com uma voz diferente, né?
Sleeping again?
É, com uma voz mais nova, tá vendo? Mais jovial.
Well, rise and shine. It's time for us to head back out into the chaos.
Assim, eu não joguei o primeiro jogo da série, o Origins, né?
Isn't that right, Zack?
Mas eu lembro que na época a mídia falou muito mal do primeiro jogo. Justamente a mesma coisa que eles estão falando desse. Por incrível que pareça. Falaram que ele tinha o frame. O FPS era muito ruim no jogo. Era inconsistente. E nesse aqui, o que eu tenho lido é a galera falando justamente do frame inconsistente, né? Ainda bem que a empresa falou que vai corrigir isso, né, cara? Eu tô tendo o primeiro contato aqui ao vivo mesmo, aqui na live com o jogo. E tô achando maneiro, cara, até agora, né? A história é maneira, né? A Blessing Disguise e Disguise. Não sei como é que pronuncia isso direito, não. Acho que é Disguise, não sei. Ou tô falando errado. Verão de 2005. Cara, é um jogo que você, pelo que eu tô percebendo aqui, ele é guiado realmente pela história, né? A história que vai fazendo você querer descobrir o final dela, o desfecho, o que aconteceu, o que vai acontecer.
Zack, it looks like she wants us to join her for breakfast. Perhaps this town's finally starting to warm up to us.
Ele novinho, viu? Ele, caraca, diferentão, né, mano? Frank York Morgan. Muito bacana, cara, assim, eu achei legal essa...
Look at that,
Eu
Zack.
acho legal os jogos que fazem
She's
isso.
welcoming us with open arms.
Você começa, tipo, num futuro, né,
She's
no
even
final,
willing to share that tasty morsel with us.
e aí você volta depois, né, pra jogar, tipo, o passado, a história, a lembrança.
Hurry up and chow down, mister. Unless you like your breakfast stale.
What an amazing place. I've been on top of the moon since the moment I got here. And the name of this wonderful town, Le Carre, sounds like French to me. But what does it mean?
I'm the chef, Dave.
Caraca, esse David aí tem a mesma
If you
dublagem
want to know about the town,
daquele
you'd better ask
daquele
Conhecendo.
negão daquele jogo do Xbox
Only
clássico,
amateur
Simon
chefs
Samura.
flap their gums about
Que ele
stuff
manda,
that ain't
The son of a
food.
bitch is planting a bomb. É o mesmo dublador daquele cara, David Jawara.
Did you hear that, Zack? He's a true professional.
You say something, mister?
No, not to you. I was just talking to Zach.
Zach?
Please don't ask me about Zach. It's a private
Ele,
matter.
ele tem um
If you
distúrbio,
say so.
né,
Still.
desde mais novo, pelo jeito.
Never thought the FBI would ever come out to a little old
Ele
town
fala
like
com o
ours.
alter ego dele, com outra,
I do
com
work for
outra
the FBI, but I didn't come
personalidade
here for
dele,
an
né? Alguma coisa
investigation.
assim.
I just happened to stop by on my way to New Orleans.
Never thought there'd be a murder out here either. And it was a 16-year-old kid. Now I tell you, this country's seen better days. What you reckon, mister?
Zach, he's definitely a professional, but it seems like he's also a bit lonesome. That's good. Ambivalence exists everywhere.
Assim, pelo que eu tô vendo também,
Folks say the killer used an
visualmente o jogo é bonito,
hell
cara.
of an old-fashioned choice if you ask me.
Actually, Chef David, if you don't mind,
Eles botaram uma arte em
I'd like
cel
to ask you a
shade,
few
né?
questions
Mas
about
como
the
se fosse
incident.
um comic book, né?
But shoot, I ain't the one you ought to be asking, Mr. FBI. I only heard what I heard. But seeing as you're fixing to grill me, I can tell you what I know.
Please do. I appreciate it.
É... O que você sabe sobre a vítima? Onde é a casa dos Clarksons? Qual local que as forças da lei estão indo? Deve ser os policiais ou oficiais, né? Vou perguntar aqui o que ele sabe sobre a vítima.
You said the victim was a 16-year-old. Did you know her?
Well, sure. I reckon the whole town did.
Meaning?
She's Lise Clarkson, the little grandbaby of the Clarkson family.
Oh, motherfucker!
The Clarkson family?
That's right. You ain't seen they sign on your way in here? The one above that huge cold storage complex. Should have had a dragonfly on it. Anyway, that's the Clarkson family seal. They own most of the land around here, from the sugar plantations right down to the food processing plant. Yeah, I reckon they got a stake in just about everything. They even own the water tower on the edge of town, you know?
Ô, louco.
They're the ones who built up this town, and they still support it.
Onde é a casa dos Clarksons?
What do you know about the Clarkson's house?
Now, I ain't got nothing bad to say, but I'm gonna talk straight to you. You best steer clear of that place.
Ô, louco.
That family ain't just some gang. They're a whole different kind of beast. They folks with real power.
Os caras são influentes, poderosos, essa família aí.
Remnants of the good old boys who shaped America in the early
Ô,
days.
louco. São Illuminati.
Especially the head of the family, P.J. Clarkson. He's the kind of monster who goes around eating other monsters. And I'm sure he's on edge now with his granddaughter getting murdered and all. So don't go barging in with that shiny FBI badge of yours and think you'll be safe for nothing.
Vou falar, o legal é que, apesar de ter muito diálogo, todos os diálogos são dublados, né, cara? Se não fosse dublado, ia dar uma canseira 3 vezes maior, viu?
Things are different down here. So if you plan on sticking around, you best remember that.
I see. I'll keep that in mind.
O que você sabe sobre New Orleans? Ele vai falar sobre aquela música que o Green Day e o U2 fizeram.
Live and Let Die, Angel Heart,
Olha lá, Live and Let Die.
and The Pelican Brief. Right? 9 out of 10 people will name those titles when you ask them to think of a film set in New Orleans. They're all excellent movies, but to me they lack realism.
Live and Let Die é um filmaço, né, cara, do 007.
Due to my line of work, I have a tendency to think deeply about what feels real and what doesn't.
Louco.
What's your point?
Cat people. That's my point. Cat people. 1982, directed by Paul Schrader. The crowning achievement of Nastasia Kinski, the ultimate muse of the 80s. The most vital element of that movie is the reality it depicts. Leopards who turn into humans have intercourse with humans and turn back into leopards. Then they can only turn back into humans again if they mutilate their lovers.
Caralho.
I was awestruck by the sheer reality of it
O
all.
filme é bem baseado. O jogo é bem baseado em filmes, né? Understand?
I'm talking about hyper-realism. After watching it, I felt like I just had to experience the world of cat people for myself. That's why I decided to visit New Orleans.
Okay.
Papo de doidão.
Another vital element of cat people is the presence of Malcolm McDowell. Malcolm McDowell from Blue Thunder. Oh, talk about a masterpiece. Listen carefully, David. Only an amateur would call A Clockwork Orange his best movie. His best movies are Cat People and Blue Thunder. Period. You need to remember this, because it's the truth.
Whatever you say, mister. So, what's your point again?
Never mind, don't worry about it. I already covered all the important parts. Is the local law enforcement investigating the case?
Shoot, mister, what you think? Now, I told you this ain't no city. We in the bonafide boondocks here. They got to know how to break up fights and keep folks from killing each other when they pissed you off. They sit down and talk it out with you heart to heart. And when that don't work, they just beat your ass. That's the Deep South for you. This murder ain't like that, though. A little kid got killed. A weird way. Like something on a TV show. The sheriff's department ain't never seen nothing like this. By the way, Mr. FBI, I ain't seen a car in the parking lot. How'd you get all the way out here, huh? Don't tell me you walked.
Well, that's a very good question. Chef David, you've got a sharp eye. It's true that I didn't park my car in your parking lot. Do you know why?
Can't say I do.
Because it was stolen.
Roubaram o nosso carro, que merda.
Huh? But you with the FBI, right?
Even FBI cars can be stolen. It could happen after you park your car on the side of the road and go off to do some legwork. When you're eating lunch, when you're watching a movie, when you're asleep at night, when you're buying cigarettes at the local supermarket. Your car can be stolen anywhere. That's precisely what it means to be an FBI agent. In my case, my car was stolen while I was on my way down here. But no need to worry. I already reported it to the local authorities. And I've also already acquired another mode of transportation.
Another mode?
Want to hear the details?
Not really. But I'll listen if you want me to.
Then please do. After I finished my work in Houston, I flew to New Orleans. Then, I rented a car at the airport. Whenever I visit the West Coast, I always rent a convertible, especially in California. But now I'm in hot and sticky Louisiana. So, I decided on a brand new hybrid car with a fully equipped air conditioning system.
A hybrid car?
Oh yes, they're marvelous. Vehicles that utterly defy everything you think you know about cars. Now, in the year 2005, it feels like we've finally entered the 21st century. Stomp down on the gas all you want. The engine won't make a sound.
It's silent?
At first, I felt like the landscape was moving past me on its own. Give it a few more years, and I'm sure we'll start seeing cars that run purely on electricity. Who knows? In a decade or so, electric sports cars may end up lining the parking lots of Silicon Valley. I can see it now. It's the world of The Last Starfighter, 1984, directed by Nick
O cara
Castle.
viaja pra caralho.
It's famous for being the first film to utilize realistic CG, but I couldn't care less about that. See, I was mesmerized by the beautifully refined mech designs. It even made me wish that I could be one of them myself. Especially the Gunstar spacecraft. No other sci-fi movie has ever had.
So, yeah, where'd your hybrid car get stolen?
Sorry, I got off topic. I noticed it was missing after I finished my lunch and walked out of the diner. Incidentally, this diner was located at the entrance to a small town just south off the I-10. I went out to get back in it, but my hybrid car was nowhere to be found. I remembered exactly where I parked it, right between a blue pickup truck and a hedgerow. But when I came back from lunch, it had completely vanished. In short, someone stole it. And in its place, they left me this.
Pronto.
What?
Vou mandar de skate.
A skateboard.
A skateboard?
Oh, man.
Yes. While I was sliding my lunch into my stomach, someone was busy replacing my brand new hybrid car with a wooden board attached to 4 wheels. Remarkable, don't you think?
So then how did you get here?
By riding the skateboard, obviously. Why do you look so surprised? No, I couldn't ride the board very well at first. But by the time I hit the 3-mile mark, I'd more or less gotten the hang of it. By the 10-mile mark, I'd even learned to do a few tricks. It was a journey of self-discovery. Not even I knew I had this latent talent sleeping inside me. When you say it was like something from a TV show, what exactly do you mean?
Hey, mister, why do you look so excited, huh? Like a kid asking grandma to read him a fairy tale.
I just can't seem to keep myself away from young women who died in bizarre ways.
Well, I ain't seen it with my own eyes, but folks say they found the body hanging under a bridge on the bayou. And under that bridge, there was some kind of altar.
E é o lance do altar aí, ó.
An altar?
Like something they use in black magic. Something horrible.
Voodoo?
Nah, wasn't nothing like that. Just a weird altar.
That's all?
Oh, and the body was all cut up in pieces, scattered around the altar.
Caceta.
So she was sacrificed.
That's what the fella who discovered her said, yeah.
Bingo, Zach. This case has got our names all over it.
This summer's gonna be another hot one. It's supposed to get over 95 today. Watch out you don't go getting heat stroke.
The Lise Clarkson case needs us. Don't you think so, Zach? The cat people are what guided us to New Orleans. We should be thanking Malcolm McDowell. Once we get home, let's watch Blue Thunder again. I'm already looking forward to it. Aren't you, Zach?
Vou procurar esse filme depois, Blue Thunder, pra ver se existe.
Zach, the searing light. These scents. It's the deep south. That was a fabulous breakfast. You're the world's greatest chef.
Wait, mister. You didn't take a single bite.
The tea was to die for. But I'd prefer coffee next time. What would a morning be without coffee?
Esse é o nosso quarto.
Sang Rouge. We've been chasing it all over America. But I feel like we're finally on the verge of finding something now. Don't you, Zach? I think it's about time we ordered a new briefcase. Yes, I know this one carries a lot of memories, but it's seen too much. This hole's from the shootout in Tucson. And this stain's from Miami. Miami. Now that was a fascinating case. Billy, our perp, cut his own torso right in two. Even with the help of the drugs. A feat like that still requires incredible mental fortitude. I was so impressed that I forgot I'd left my briefcase on the floor. Same floor his blood gushed out onto. I know, Zach, I know. Now isn't the time for a trip down memory lane. An emergent drug that's been on the rise in 4 southern states. Personally, I think it originated right here in Louisiana. And Lise Clarkson's murder must be connected to it somehow.
O caso da morte da menina deve estar ligado a essa droga aqui.
The 16-year-old girl who was murdered. Her body was found beneath a bridge over the bayou, along with a strange altar.
Legal que assim, a gente tá ligando as coisas de acordo com a conversa que eu tive com aquele chefe lá de cozinha, né? Talvez se eu tivesse colocado logo na opção de ir embora, eu teria às vezes menos clues, né? Menos dicas e tal.
The powerful man who essentially controls the town of Lucare. And he seems to be more fearsome than your average gangster. I doubt he'll be willing to cooperate with any law enforcement, Zach.
Viu? As evidências foram organizadas. Legal, então o diálogo também é uma parte chave desse jogo, né?
I keep thinking about that movie we stopped to see on our way here, Zach. The Island, 2005, directed by Michael Bay.
A Ilha? Ele tá falando do filme da Ilha. Será que é aquele do Tom Hanks?
For a movie being shown at a cinema complex, it was surprisingly artistic.
Eu viajei, a Ilha é outro filme, porra. Confundi com um Náufrago.
It was art house sci-fi. That director's going to change the history of art house films. Are you following me here? This is another special film that's setting a new standard, just like Star Wars and Blade Runner.
Olha só, mano, o cara tem várias referências a filmes irados, né, mano? Star Wars, Blade Runner, foram realmente 2 filmes que mudaram tudo.
This is a turning point, Zach. You may be witnessing the birth of a vital new word that will soon become a part of film history. Yes, this single movie may be responsible for creating a whole new genre several years down the line. A genre known as island movies. I sure like the sound of that. Don't you, Zach?
Answer the door. Cara, achei a arte muito bonita do jogo, viu? A arte em cel shade bem bacana. Legal, a gente pode salvar nos telefones. Pô, cara, eu vi que esse jogo aqui é um jogo que vai me proporcionar muitas horas, né? Eu gosto de jogos assim, investigação criminosa e tal. E pelo que eu vi no trailer, tem uma parte de combate também com arma e tal. Caralho, que porra é essa aqui, mano? Tem um bagulho aqui do voodoo aqui. aqui tem as balas, é isso? Só tem uma aqui. É... First aid, né? Band-aid. Uma coca. Cigarro. Pirulito. Café. Esparadrapo. Já viu que a gente vai usar isso tudo aqui, né?
I'm very satisfied with the decorations and the size of this closet, Zach. And it's even got a security box. What else could a man ask for? It's proof that we're still safely inside the fringes of modern civilization.
Ah, legal, você pode mudar a roupa dele, né? Esse aqui que tá equipado de agente. E essa aqui é... boa pra usar depois das 5. Vamos ver como é que é. É maneiro, né? Essa aqui é a roupa noturna lá. A gente vai pro baile, né, cara? Vai pro baile no Bronx.
Hey there, chef. What's cooking?
Chef, what are you talking about, sir? I'm the concierge, David.
Eu achei que era o chefe de cozinha. David Jawara Concierge, como assim?
I just heard from our chef that you wish to learn the meaning behind our town's name.
Yes, I've gathered that Lucare is French, but does it have any special meaning?
Why, yes, sir, of course it does. A very clear, logical meaning. All names have meanings. Would you like to know what this one means?
Yes, I would.
Jolly good, sir. Then allow me to explain. Lucare means square in French.
Ah. And
That's it.
that's it?
Yes, that's it, sir. Do take a gander at the town map in the lobby if it fancies you. It's beautiful, valuable, and
Agora que a gente vai ter acesso ao mapa, né?
I'm sure
O
you'll
mapa
understand
aberto.
once you see
Pra
it.
explorar a cidade e tal.
Now, please excuse me, sir. If you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to ask.
A
Did you
risadinha.
see that, Zach? That was clearly David. Not a twin, not a split personality, just the work of a true professional. It's bizarre, but I can understand it. Remember what they say, the job makes the man.
E assim, ao mesmo tempo é engraçado, tem momentos de descontração e ao mesmo tempo é pesado, se você parar pra perceber, né? Porque você vê a situação dele no final da vida lá, né? Naquele interrogatório. Ele... um tumor maligno, prestes a morrer e tal. Que doideira, né, cara?
Do you feel that, Zach? Dozens of paintings no one will ever see. The faint scent of tobacco baked into these walls for over a century. Now that's what I call a hotel. Zach, can you see him?
Caralho.
His fashion sense is beyond me, but he appears to be a gentleman. Perhaps we should talk to him.
Caralho, que doideira, mano. Referência ao 007 Live and Let Die, né? Parece aquele Barão Samed. Aí, Simões, sacou a referência? Caralho, igualzinho mesmo o Barão Samed, mano.
Nice tie. Did you buy it here?
It's been a long time since someone spoke to me. No one these days ever tries to see me.
Bizarro.
They can see what's far in the distance, but are blind to what's in front of them. No. Maybe they're only pretending not to see. That's what civilized society does to people.
Exactly. Ever since mankind got their hands on civilization, they zoomed away at a frightening speed.
Zoomed away from what?
Don't be a fool. You know the answer. As for me, just call me Hungan.
Hungan. Title given to a leader in a certain religion. Is that what you are?
Caralho. Ah, bizarrão, mano. O cara é uma entidade,
Do
mano.
you comprehend the oracle?
The Oracle. Put on your religion hat, Zach. Here we go.
Fell 10 maidens in the shrine of hunger. Find the flying serpent in the ambiguous zero. Dance with the flying serpent, and you will glimpse the other world.
10 maidens and an ambiguous zero. Got it. But what do you mean by otherworld?
Follow the oracle.
Siga o oráculo. Ô, louco. Caralho, mano, que sinistro, né? Parece que só ele
Zach,
vê, né?
did you hear all that? Looks like we've already taken our first step into chaos. But such is our duty. We need to accept the chaos, let it inside, then carefully dismantle it piece by piece. And after we've put all the pieces back into their rightful places, the truth will reveal itself. Let's capture the truth and present it with a shiny pair of silver bracelets, Zach.
Caramba, o jogo é cheio de referências mesmo, pelo que eu tô vendo, sabe? E vou falar de certa forma... Cara... Aí, cara. Frankenstein se transforma no Drácula. Frankenstein became Drácula. Cara, o jogo é cheio de referências, viu? Não, aqui é pra sair. Tem que checar aqui o mapa.
Zach, this is Lucare. I think I'm finally starting to understand what our concierge was trying to say. You can tell this town was built by a very methodical person. No, wait. Maybe they just didn't care, and that's why it ended up this way. It's just another symbol of mankind's obsession with molding nature to fit our own rules.
É um quadrado, literalmente, né? Verdade. Agora tem o mapa.
Zach, what did you think of Hungan's oracle? Despite all the dramatic build-up, it's little more than a childish riddle. Heartwarming, really. Exactly the kind of feeling one gets from the good old-fashioned countryside. Now let's start by tracking down those 10 maidens. The oracle gave us a place and an act. We need to go to the Shrine of Hunger and fell 10 maidens. Now, where in this town can one satiate their hunger?
Ah, interessante,
The
mano.
hotel and where? And the 10 things that need to be knocked down. Simple, right?
A gente tem que ir até os
The
locais.
answer is bowling. The shape of the bowling pin was based on the feminine form. The 10 maidens are the 10 pins. Very funny, Zach. Now it's time to get serious. You already know the answer, don't you? But a place where someone can both eat and bowl at the same time. I'm skeptical as to whether we'll be able to find such a place in a backwoods town like this. Alexis's Diner and Lane. This is it, Zach. There are even pins and a bowling ball on the sign.
Interessante.
I bet we'll be able to eat some Cajun cuisine and bowl there. Maybe even both at the same time. Nice job, Zach. I knew you'd be able to find it. Now for the other oracle. There's no flying serpent on this map. Could it be a contrail or perhaps a dragon? I'm sure we'll find out later. First, let's just figure out where we need to go. Do you know what the ambiguous 0 represents? 0 is usually treated as a base number, but under what conditions would a base number be ambiguous? The answer is temperature, Zach. Yes. 0 degrees Fahrenheit is minus 17.7 degrees Celsius, and 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more ambiguous 0 than that. The question is, does our 0 refer to Celsius or Fahrenheit? Let's think for a moment. We're in Louisiana. Which measurement system do we use here in America?
Fire Station. É, estação de incêndio. Bombeiros.
Very funny, Zach.
Não.
Now it's time to get serious. You already know the answer, don't you? Do you know what the ambiguous 0 represents? 0 is usually treated as a base. Very funny. Now it's time to get serious. You already know that. Do you know what the ambiguous 0 represents? 0 is usually treated as a very
Caraca, eu
funny.
não sei
Now,
qual é o
it's time to
lugar.
get- You already know. Do you know what the ambiguous 0
Ou é a
represents?
igreja,
0 is usually treated as a base number.
ou é a entrega de
But
comida.
under what condition? Very funny. Now it's time. You already know that. Do you know what the ambiguous? The Clarkson Food Delivery
Era
Services
aqui.
Cold Storage Warehouse.
Era lugar de entrega de comida congelada.
That's got to be it. Even with this blazing sun in the sky, they can easily keep the temperature below freezing. Be honest now, Zach. You knew the answer from the very start, didn't you? And how about that Hoongan? What a mysterious character. His oracles may end up determining how much time we spend in this town.
Ih, é o cigarrinho dele. Às vezes
Sorry, boss, but this is a smoke-free hotel.
deve ser por causa do cigarro que ele pegou.
If you're dying to
tumor,
smoke,
cara.
head out the entrance and you'll find a smoking area in the rear parking lot.
Don't tell me. You're the
At your
bellboy.
service, boss.
David Jawar, ele faz todas as funções, esse cara.
Are you good friends with the concierge and the chef?
We work at the same place, yeah. But, I can't really say whether we're good friends with each other. We're all professionals, though. Nothing more, nothing less.
I believe we've struck gold here, Zach. It just screams deep south. Actually, no, it doesn't. This is all his charm. So, if I want to smoke, I should go out the entrance and around to the rear parking lot?
Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay. I'll play by your rules.
Eu posso escolher qual o próximo lugar que eu vou, né? A ordem que eu vou, legal. O jogo me dá essa liberdade. E aqui já vi que tem side quests, né? Parece, né? Você falar com ele. E ali parece que tem outra também. E ali tem o quadro de novo pra falar com aquela entidade. Carai.
Zach, here's another perfect symbol of the human condition. Hunting. And it's a buffalo hunting trophy. Now that's a surprise. I've seen several trophies made out of human skin, but never a buffalo's. Looking at him brings out this strange feeling from within me. Yes, the very same feeling I got when watching a certain film from 1984, directed by Peter Hyams. 2010. The last scene in that film filled me with such a sublime, majestic feeling. It was filled with everything that was missing from the finale of 2001: A Space Odyssey. Just talking about it makes me want to watch it again. Let's watch it once we get home. Promise, Zach.
Entendeu por que ele é fanático por filme, né? Lá naquele interrogatório que a gente tem no início do jogo, ele é cheio de filme na casa dele.
Hey, boss. How can I be a...
E tem interação também com as máquinas para comprar comida, legal. Será que ele tem barra de sangue ou deve ser estamina e o HP, né? Ou seja, esse jogo de certa forma tem elementos de RPG. Esse jogo tem elementos de RPG, cara. O que torna ele mais interessante aos meus olhos, né? E de certa forma uma surpresa agradável, mas eu vou falar uma coisa pra vocês que eu tô reparando aqui. É que meu Switch tá com a ventoinha rodando loucamente, mano. Sério mesmo, tá saindo um bafo aqui dele aqui. Tá fazendo até um barulhinho aqui do cooler. Eles precisam realmente lançar um patch pra esse jogo aí, viu? Porque não é normal o Switch fazer barulho, tá, tipo, se estivesse superaquecendo, coisa do tipo, né? Como se estivesse com overclock. Contando a minha experiência aqui com vocês, entendeu? Esse loading aí, ele deu uma... Agora ele tá dando uma diminuída. E o loading demora bastante mesmo, viu? Olha, chega, parece que trava, né? Tá vendo? O loading demora um pouco. Eles realmente vão ter que ajeitar isso, mas... Tô achando um jogo muito interessante, cara. É fumante. Às vezes é por isso que ele ficou doente mesmo, cara.
Compared to non-smokers, smokers have a 4.7 times greater chance of getting lung disease. You know that means it's more likely than getting asbestos poisoning?
The risk of death from lung cancer is actually much lower than what you think it is.
Olha lá, viu? Falando do câncer.
In fact, it's tiny when compared to heart disease, strokes, and pneumonia. We're always surrounded by easy ways to die, you know. Some people even get randomly struck by lightning and die right there on the spot.
Then I reckon you also know that secondhand smokers have 1.3 times greater the risk compared to smokers?
Of course.
So you won't mind paying the damages when I die of lung disease? How about writing that in a contract for me? You got a pen, right? I promise to protect you from all the evil in our world. Well, that's stupid. By the way, what's your name?
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, just call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
Is something wrong with you? Adults ain't supposed to act like that. I only asked for your name so I can write it on the contract. You should have been able to figure that out if you're a real FBI agent like you said. Come on, sign here. Right here on the paper.
Just as I thought, Zach. This contract paper, it's a Sang Rouge wrapper. Sang Rouge is here, too. This must mean that Sang Rouge is connected to the Lise Clarkson murder case somehow. This is a sprawling case that spread across the entire South. It's within our jurisdiction, Zach. We'll need to steal the right to investigate from the local authorities at once. By the way, miss, what's your name?
Patricia Woods. But I gotta write my name myself, or else it won't be a real signature.
Tell me, Patricia, does this town have a sheriff? Or is it under the jurisdiction of the nearest city police?
Perfect timing. Well, go on and steal it if you want it. I was just thinking about how this is way out of my depth.
Thank you for the information, Patricia. Okay, Zach, it's time to get to work. How should we seize control from the sheriff this time?
O R corre, na alavanca ele se abaixa. O R também esquiva. Isso, a sala vermelha. Ah, é isso aqui que eles estavam falando lá, que tem o frame rate vai lá embaixo, tá vendo? Corre. Ué, cheio de coisa aqui na cidade pelo que eu tô vendo ali. Mapa. Na cidade mesmo, cheio de coisa, né? Um jogo de mundo aberto mesmo, cara. A primeira hora do jogo a gente jogou aí com bastante texto, história. Você não imagina que vai ser um jogo de mundo aberto, né? Ele realmente é um jogo de mapa aberto, como vocês podem ver. Tem que ir aqui depois, nessa casa aqui. Depois tem que ir nessa aqui e tal. Mas tem outras missões aqui abertas para fazer também. Eu acho muito legal. Bom, pelo que eu tô vendo aqui nessa área de mapa aberto, né? Tem... Sala vermelha. Cara, que doideira, mano. Inventário, mapa. Que doideira, é tipo um lugar na mente dele, tá vendo? Pode ver os itens, salvar, etc. Acho que é isso, né? Jornal deve ser as missões, o mapa. Aí tem a árvore ali vermelha que eles relatam no início do jogo. Interessante, mano. Agora eles precisam melhorar essa taxa de frames, viu? Mas acredito que isso aqui não vai ser empecilho pra mim jogar o jogo não, cara. Mas um jogo exclusivo não era pra ter essa taxa de frames baixa aqui na hora que a gente tá andando não, viu?
Hey, my daddy's still in the parking lot. I thought you were gonna steal the right to investigate from him.
O pai da garota é o xerife.
Hey there. So, you're the fella from the FBI I've been hearing so much about. I'm Melvin. They call me the sheriff round here.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. But call me York if you can. That's what everyone calls me.
Huh? Well, all right. Mr. York. How's that sound?
Fine by me.
I'm sure you figured this out, but our town's a small one. Yeah, folks are already busy spreading gossip about how some FBI agents come to town. Now, I reckon you came from the city. What was it? D.C., L.A., or New York? Anywho, in the city, it's normal not to know who your neighbor is. Fella who moves in next to you could cook up a dozen folks in his backyard and no one would bat an eye. That's the city for you. Now, I never lived in one myself, but I visited them a few times, so I know what it's like. All pigs must die. Yo, wolves. Yeah! Now, does that sound badass or what? I bet you'd... Hey! I know, CLG. I'm just trying to make a little small talk, that's all. Anywho, round these parts, everyone knows each other's name. So lots of folks get leery when they see an étranger like you. And since it's my duty to protect the town, I thought I'd stop by and say hello.
Zach, it looks like this sheriff is quite the happy-go-lucky type. A clear indication of just how peaceful this town
O cara
is.
fica falando sozinho, ela liga e fica, que porra é essa?
Melvin, about the Lise Clarkson
I
case.
knew you were here for that case. Can't put one past the FBI. So they even got eyes on the smallest of towns like us, huh? Our world is filled with information, and it's all within their grasp.
O negão, olha.
FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
The Lise Clarkson case is connected to a top-secret case that we've...
I know. If you're fixing to take the lead, then go right ahead. I'm just the humble sheriff of a tiny little town. My jobs are to stop my neighbors from beating the piss out of each other and listen to old folks complain. Honestly, this whole murder case has been weighing me down. So I'm gonna give you my full cooperation, Mr. Special Agent, sir.
Well, Zach, that was anticlimactic. I didn't even get to use my secret weapon. Melvin, there's a cold storage warehouse on the southern end of town, isn't there? I'd like to get permission to enter it.
Say what?
You want to see where the body's being kept, right?
Oh, I get it now. Lisa's body, yeah. Now, that's what I call a special agent. You already figured that much out. But, I'm not too sure that, going down there at this point is really gonna help much, you know?
Explain it yourself, Daddy.
That's incredible. I don't believe this. Amazing. Did you hear that, Zach? They put the body in a cold storage warehouse. This is fantastic. Insanely fantastic.
Really? Well, how about that? Well, all right then. I'll head on down to the warehouse ahead of you and make sure we get permission to search it.
Sounds good.
The management company only keeps the warehouse open during certain hours, so you'll have to come during those hours. I ain't looking to create any further disturbances.
Ah, legal.
So be on time. Got it?
Tem certas horas específicas que você pode entrar em certos lugares.
I'm gonna walk home, Daddy. I still got another stop to make.
Oh, if you say so, sweetie. She's a real sharp one, as you can see, so I try to stay out of her way. Well, all right then, York. I'll see you at the warehouse.
Cara, até agora eu tô gostando do jogo, viu? Eu vou salvar aqui, vou encerrar a live, depois eu continuo. Só essa queda de frame que tem aqui no mundo aberto que é meio brabo, viu? Mas quando você entra em lugares fechados, é que ele funciona bem. Aqui eu já não posso entrar de novo. Aqui é os fundos.
Hey, you! You ain't secretly cutting kids up and sticking them into jars while you work as an FBI agent on the surface, are you? Or using your FBI connections to sell kids to child trafficking organizations?
I've arrested people who've done both, but I've never engaged in either of those activities myself. Of course, I have imagined doing such things in order to learn more about the psychology of the criminals I deal with.
It was just a joke. Why are you getting all serious? And don't tell me what you imagine, or else I'll get scared of you for real. Hey, can I come with you? You signed a contract with me, remember? And besides, I'm kind of worried about my daddy.
Do whatever you like. This is America, land of the free. But I have one condition.
What condition?
Don't ask me about Zach. It's a private matter. Zach, it feels like she's carrying something with her. Kind of reminds me of you back when we first met.
Cara loucaço, mano.
I can't leave her alone like this.
O jogo,
You feel
o
the
jogo
same
tem muita
way, don't you?
personalidade. Isso a gente não pode negar, mano. Main quest tem um M, a side quest acho que deve ter um S. Eu não sei. Nossa, cara, olha esse frame rate que horroroso no mundo aberto, mano. Pelo amor de Deus. Caceta, mano. Cara, é um jogo bom, viu, cara? Mas só precisam ajeitar esse frame rate grotesco. Grotesco, velho. É grotesco, mano. Essa queda de frame no mapa aberto aqui, mano. Até pra mim, que não é um cara que é tão exigente com certas coisas, mas esse frame rate, caralho, tá no chão, meu irmão. Em lugares fechados, você vê que é muito melhor, né? Tá vendo lá? Em lugares fechados, ele tá rodando bacana até. Agora no mapa aberto, filhão. Mas o jogo é bom, viu? O jogo é bom, viu? Vamos ver até onde isso vai, esse lance da queda de quadros lá fora. Acredito eu que em momentos específicos não deva atrapalhar, não. Eu não vi uma review, por exemplo, falando que atrapalhava, não. Mas que incomoda muito porque tá mapa aberto, taxa de frames lá embaixo, incomoda, né? Mas é isso, gente. Eu vou encerrando a live aqui. Queria jogar esse início aqui do Deadly Premonition. Eu, daqui a pouco, daqui a um tempo, vou daqui a pouco jantar e tal. Eu devo fazer uma live mais tarde de Vigor. Eu recebi Vigor hoje aí também. Baixei aí o jogo. E devo trazer aqui pra galera dar uma olhadinha aí. A galera quiser conferir. Eu vou jogar mais tarde de qualquer jeito, valeu? Então é isso, meu povo. Valeu, um abração a todos aí. Fiquem com Deus. Se não forem inscritos no canal, se inscreva aí. Deixa o like aí se gostou do vídeo. Tamo junto. Valeu, galera. Um abração aí.